Hi babes! So this is basically a continuation of my previous video where I did these eyebrows. I'm going to show you my sort of like basic Instagram goth style makeup. I learned during my last video that having my shoulders bare kind of helped my video not get overexposed as much. I'm still learning stuff about lighting, but I do have pretty bad keloid scarring on my shoulder. They are self-harm scars. I am fine. They are over 5 years old, but they're dramatic because I'm prone to keloid scarring. So if you aren't in a good place with self-harm, please don't watch this video, because it's one thing to kind of see them far away, you know, in a video or a photo that's not very close, but it's another thing to kind of see them, you know, up in a camera and video. So you have been warned. I'm going to take this off now. I am okay. Don't worry about me. So I'm going to show you some of the things I think you need. If there's anything else that I forgot, I will let you know. You're going to want an assortment of nude eyeshadow colors. This palette by e.l.f., the New Classics, is amazing for this kind of stuff. I'm going to be using a lot of the soft black, a lot of these two softer brown and taupe shades, as well as this darker one. And this Milani Bold Obsessions palette is also great. I'll probably mostly be using this nude shade. It's just such a nice nude shade. Also grabbed this Wet n Wild palette because it has this nice, not super dark or not super bright white, and this Frosty White eyeshadow by Ulta Beauty. Brushes. You're gonna need a variety. So some of my favorite brushes are angled eyeshadow brushes. I have two. I love them to death. You're going to want a tight little C-shaped brush. It's hard to say that. For crease work, as well as a little smudger brush. You can tell that I use dark colors with these. And I have some other brushes. This dual-ended brush by EcoTools is amazing. For this blender is really nice, and this is great for packing and smudging color as well. And I actually use a flat foundation brush for highlighting when it comes to that. Where I'm gonna start is I'm gonna start with the lightest brown shade and load it up on my brush. And I always dust out the excess on the edge of my hand, and I start mapping out the shape of the eyeshadow that I personally like to do. I always do my eyeshadow in the same shape that I think flatters my face the most. This might not work for you. I start on the bridge of my nose, and I like to make this area quite dark because I think it's kind of masculine. It makes you look a little tired, which I think is sexy. But also I like to do it because it helps melt my drawn-on eyebrows, which typically are higher up than where my eyebrows naturally grow. It helps kind of melt that into the shape of my nose bridge. I'm not going to worry about perfect blending right now. I'm just setting the product where it needs to be. I'm adding a little bit more of the dark brown as well now. And I do a big sweeped out wing that goes pretty far out towards my hairline. This might be a little too dramatic for you. That's fine. Do whatever makes you happy. And I'm gonna take some of this soft black on an angled eyeshadow brush. I'm going to start building it up on this outside portion. Take that little C-shaped eyeshadow brush and really get in there. little bit of saliva to make it even darker. And I'm really gonna pack that into that outside edge. Now typically, if I had the foresight, I would not do my whole face of foundation first to avoid fallout, but I wanted to have my skin look kind of okay for my tutorials today, so I'll just have to deal with the fallout the best I can. And then with that same brush that has a little bit of the black left on it, I'm just gonna feather out that top edge. And then I'm gonna go into my browns, the deepest ones. Once again, blending. I'm going to put some nude eyeshadow and just kind of pack it downwards to make sure that it's not too dark too far up. But I'd rather have it be too far up than too far down personally. And I'm going to quickly bring this down to my lower lash line just a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it too much because I'll know exactly how I want to form the shape once I have my liner on. I have a darker black from this e.l.f. Earth and Ocean palette. It's technically like a shimmery black, but it doesn't show up on photos really or anything. To do this just where I want things to be the absolute darkest, which is just going to be the very, very crease of it all. Ooh. Repeat the same on the other side. So now I'm going to use just a little bit of concealer to clean up my lid area and basically do a soft cut crease, nothing dramatic. This little tiny gnarly C-shaped concealer brush I'm going to use to do this. And I'm just going to kind of sloppily lay it down. And then use my finger to blend. A lot of times I have to find myself kind of adjusting right here where I do that bridge, because it can end up looking a little weird. With the shape of my face. If I go outside the line that I want a little bit, I can just cover that back up. And like I said, I don't want a super harsh cut crease anyway. So now I want to lay down the shadows that I want for my lid. I'm gonna do a combination of shimmery shades. I've got that one. And then I'm gonna blend some of the brown into it for the very outside edge. Just for a nice gradient. The inner corner I'm gonna add some white because I just like to really brighten it up and make it dramatic. So I'm going to start with that matte white and then I'm going to add the shimmer on top. Now into this frosty white. It's super pretty. I'm using this smudger brush, which normally I just use to smudge black eyeshadows, but I really like it for this. And I'm gonna blend some of that nude shimmer into it, just, you know, blendy blendy. And now I'm gonna take my matte soft black and go back around those edges. Ta-da! It's not a super harsh cut crease, but it looks so good in photos. Same thing on the other side. Alrighty, so now I am going to start my brow highlight but not finish it because I'm going to use glitter on my highlight, which I'm going to do the same thing for my cheeks. So I'm going to start off with the nude shimmery shade and add that a bit lower. And I'm going to go into the white. And add that up on top. It's gonna be wild. So now it's time for my eyeliner. And I use the same eyeliner I always use, which is the e.l.f. What is it? Pro Liquid Liner or whatever. I have been enjoying the NYX Vinyl Liquid Liner, but it just takes me longer and I'm trying to be more time efficient today. So I'm going to start from the outside corner and draw on the bottom. I'm not doing any sort of like eye changing effects this time, which I sometimes do, so I'm just going to draw it right up to the lash line. And then I'm going to draw my regular liner. I need a bit more product. Oh, I remove a lot of the product, but you want to make sure there's still enough on there that it's a nice smooth line. I start from the outside. I'm going to work my way in. Starting off thinner and then slowly building it up. And since my eyes are very slightly hooded, my eyebrows kind of droop a little bit, I make the wing really, really thick. And you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to draw up to where I want my wing. Flip the brush. Draw that down. I make that area really thick because that's just what looks best with my eye shape. Then since that is a lot of black eyeliner in my crease, I'm going to keep my eyes down while it dries. It's most important to just not look up. I don't feel like this eyeliner creases really bad, honestly. As long as I don't look directly up, I'm okay. So I should be fine to work on this wing a little bit as it continues to dry. So now, normally I would work symmetrically, but I'm just preferring to do one eye and then go do the other eye in the bathroom where I can see better. Now I'm going to do the inner corner. So it's important for me to check how it looks at a head-on angle and also a 3/4 angle because of the curvature of my own bone structure. It can end up looking weird if I don't check both angles. Especially if I just do it straight on, it'll look weird and lumpy from the side. I like to do mine more facing down than towards the bridge of my nose. I feel like that's more, it reminds me more of dragons and deer, versus I feel like drawing them more towards your nose bridge is more of like a traditional cat shape. Doesn't have to be perfect since I will be putting white highlights there too. So now I'm gonna go do the other side. All right, babes, so never fear, we are almost there. So now I'm gonna do the white accents, my waterline, my tight line, lashes, mascara. So first off, I'm going to tight line, which is the upper lash line, as well as do the inner corner black. This is the Juvia's new kohl eye pencil. I've been liking it quite a bit. I feel like it makes my eyes water a bit more than normal, but it's so black and so pretty that I don't really mind. So blinking into it helps me because it is an uncomfortable feeling. I also find that it's most important to get the inner half of my tight line completely covered because it's just a lot more obvious for some reason there than the outside edges. Even though this is an annoying and uncomfortable step, it is very important for getting your lashes to blend. So now I'm going to take my NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk and use that on my lower waterline. I'm applying it pretty liberally and not really worrying if I get it everywhere because I'm going to be blending a lot of eyeshadow underneath my eyes anyways. Now I'm going to take my handy dandy smudger brush and some black eyeshadow as well as some browns. Blend out underneath my eyes. And I'm going to bring it down in a matching shape to my eyeshadow, or eyeliner rather. Pretty close to it. And blending well into my eyeliner as well. What you doing? So now I'm going to do my white accents. I'm going to take my NYX white eyeliner, the regular one. And first of all, I'm going to draw a matching line down. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. And then I'm going to add another accent. It just kind of makes my eyeliner look 3D. I'm not going to draw on the little lashes this time because I don't feel like it, but I am eventually going to do that in one of my tutorials. But I just do the same thing. I just add a little white line that makes them look 3D. It does not irritate my eyes, so I can get it kind of up, kind of almost in the waterline, but not quite. And repeat on the other side. Alright, it's starting to look like me now, isn't it? I have recently fallen in love with this Essence Lash Princess. I don't even use the waterproof version. I haven't had a chance to try it. But I love this mascara. Whenever I don't wear any eyeshadow, I will use a tissue to get like most of the product off of this and then just slowly build it up on my lashes. And people have literally thought that I'm wearing false eyelashes when I'm wearing this mascara. So when I wear falsies, I don't worry about getting my lashes super long or anything. If anything, that'll just make it more likely for my mascara to transfer onto my eyeshadow. It's more about just getting my lashes as black as possible. I'm gonna wait to do my lashes last. Don't always do that, but I feel like doing that this time. So I already have my blush and contour done. Now I just needed to do highlight and lips and then lashes. So for highlighter, I'm gonna start off with this Wet n Wild highlighter called Peach Blossom, right? It doesn't say on it. Obviously it's been through hell. So I'm gonna take it on a flat foundation brush, and I'm gonna get quite a bit of product. And then I'm gonna spray it with some NYX matte setting spray, which is currently all I've been using that for. I'm going to apply it to the highest planes of my face. That look good with highlighter at least, because not all of them do. I do lots of different kinds of highlights on my nose. Right now I'm just going to do a straight up and down, basic one. I don't really contour my nose much because of the shape of my nose. It's easy to actually make my nose look bigger or crooked with contouring. I have a really small nose. There's no point in contouring, honestly. And now I'm going to show you my secret weapon. What everyone asks about all the time. What is your highlight? What is your highlight? What is your highlight? My highlight is the e.l.f. liquid eyeshadow in Disco Queen. I take it, I put it on my hand, take a finger that doesn't have liquid eyeliner on it, grab it on my finger, and I pack it on a lot. Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Like I said, it's my secret weapon. It's $5. Now, if you start using it for highlighter every day the way I do, even if I don't do a full face, you will run out of it faster than that. Faster than you would if you were just using it for an occasional eyeshadow look. So worth it. I've literally bought like 2 at a time a couple of times just to make sure that I have enough. Because are you kidding me? Now, obviously, this is not going to look the same on all skin tones. They do have a couple of new shades of it, so I'd check them out. And it does work amazing as a liquid eyeshadow as well. So I do use it on my nose as well. And I just do a thin line. You can't even see it because of this lighting. It only catches the lighting sometimes. But when it does, oh my god. It makes my nose look snatched. And then what I like to do is take whatever blush brush I used and blend up into that. Just to make sure that it still melts with my blush. It always does, honestly. It's just an extra step. Now that I've done all of this, I feel comfortable putting on my lashes. Obsessed with the Eyeliner Luxe XL Foam Ink lashes in Splendor. They just have this incredible, incredible fanned out effect on the edges, and this is with them trimmed as well. Quick lash tips. I always remove any excess glue before I put them on. I use the Duo Brush On Lash Adhesive because it's a brush on. I originally bought it because it is latex and formaldehyde free, so it is vegan friendly. But I've also learned that this is just so much better than the Duo lash glues that you just have to squeeze out because you can literally just brush it on. Now I'm weird when it comes to my lashes because I do not let the lash glue dry, and I probably use a little bit more lash glue than other people. I don't let the lash glue dry all the way because it's sticky. So if you don't lay it perfectly, you're screwed. Whereas if the glue is still a little bit wet, you can move it around. Pretty thick eyeliner, so if my lashes aren't laid down perfect, it's not the end of the world. But I'm not always super perfect about getting my waterline nice and dark, and sometimes this white eyeliner transfers up, so it is important for me to try to get it pretty close to my lash line. I did learn to try out applying lashes with the glue still wet from Scream Kiwi, who obviously is my lord and savior. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was her that there was a video where she was putting on her lashes and she was like, oh yeah, by the way, I apply them while the glue is still wet because I feel like they stay on better. True, because it literally dries to your face. And like I said, if you don't apply them right where you want them, you have time to adjust them. Whereas, if they're really sticky and tacky, you don't. They are where you set them. No mistakes allowed. Now you can see why I absolutely love these lashes. Now I'm going to do my lips. So I'm going to do a look I've been doing a lot lately, which is using a black liner to line my lips, blending it out with my finger, and then putting gloss on top. And I also do typically like to do this with my septum ring out. And I also like to do my foundation with my septum ring not in, but my nose is healing because even though this ring isn't bigger, it's not a gauge higher, it's not thicker, but it is a different shape and it's heavy, so my nose goes through a healing process when I switch to this ring, so it's not super simple to just whip it out of my face at any point in time. But yes, I typically, once my nose is healed, I do just take this septum ring at least out, because obviously it's totally in the way. The gloss that I've really been liking is this NYX lip filler gloss. I'm gonna use that brush to help me blend it a little bit too. It's not like the Too Faced lip injection or anything where it like actually hurts. It's just like slightly stingy. It's really like nothing. But also, I eat habanero sauce every night, so I might just not be able to feel it. It's kind of bitchy, which I like. And that's literally it. The thing I would do is just set the faces. I do have many faces, obviously. I've already shown you how to do a couple of them. The only thing I would do is add one last quick bit of powder to the places I know get shiny, which don't even really get that shiny in real life. It's mostly just on camera. yes, I forgot. A lot of people ask me about this too. Is take this glitter that I used as a highlighter, and I get asked a lot at work, like, what body glitter I'm wearing. It's not body glitter. It's this. So I do right along the scoop and then a little bit up. And I also think it looks really pretty in the little hollow there too. You can't really see it that well, but it's really pretty. Bring my little collar back around. This is by the Kitten Collection, by the way, which I plan on reviewing. This specific style of collar, because I now have 3 of them. 3. Yeah, that's all. Congratulations if you made it through all of this. I don't know if I'm going to upload this in multiple parts, but yeah, this is my sort of like Instagram sleek I want to look like. I feel really nice, but I don't have a particular idea kind of thing. This is definitely the kind of makeup that I wear out on like dates, or if I was like interviewing for a job or something. But anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed